Welcome to News Goblins, reporting live from our dungeon in the Forbidden Kingdom of the Underdark. We're a weekly podcast on all things nerdy and nerdsome. I'm your favorite goblin, Leslie.
And I'm Jared the Grasshopper Anderson.
Why are you a
That's my new
grasshopper?
nickname. You didn't like that one?
It's not very goblin-y.
I'm Jared the Emerald Dancer Anderson.
That's still not super goblin-y.
I'm Jared Shiny Shoes
All right, that's better.
Goblinston.
Okay, we'll take that. I'll
Okay.
accept that.
Hi, Leslie.
Hi, Jared.
I'm super tired from moving boxes.
Oh my gosh, I'm so tired of moving, but we're almost done. We're almost done.
I have jelly bones.
I know, I just want to go to bed, but I have to do the rest of the kitchen.
Oh, okay. And you have to do a podcast with me.
And I have to, which is the hardest part of my week.
What are we doing today, Leslie?
Besides moving boxes, Jared?
No, I mean on the podcast.
Oh, well, I want to talk about anime.
Anime, huh?
Anime. Yeah, there's a bunch of exciting animes coming out early next year.
I would like to hear more.
Yes, this will probably mean nothing to you because you do not like anime as
I do
much
too.
as I do.
I like anime.
As much as I do.
Okay. No, I guess I don't like it as much as you do.
So 2018 is going to see the sequels for One Punch Man, Sword Art Online, Card Captor Sakura, and inexplicably FLCL, which is a show made out of madness and terror, which was the first anime I watched. And anyone who has seen FLCL knows that that was not a good one to start with.
Is the sequel to One Punch Man called Two Punch Man?
Ha! No,
Missed opportunity.
it's just, yeah.
Missed opportunity.
Maybe it's called like One Punch Man, Another Punch.
Get a hold of me, Anime Hollywood.
Yeah, really.
Okay? I can punch up all this stuff.
Well, you can one punch up all
I
this
can
stuff.
one punch up all of this stuff. Send me some scripts.
But I am mostly excited about an anime that is simulcasting right now, which means that it is showing in Japan and the US every Saturday.
We all know what simulcasting means, Leslie.
Do you don't know that?
No, I didn't know.
Now you know
But I
that.
think I know what anime you're going to talk
I'm sorry you had to learn something.
about.
I am going to talk about The Ancient Magus Bride, which you have heard me talk about for 2 months?
I watched the first couple episodes with you.
Yeah, you watched, they released like a 3-episode prequel.
Oh,
before.
okay. So I watched maybe all 3 of those.
Yeah, and I think those 3 are really necessary for some of the jumps they take in the anime are only okay because they earned it.
Well, I mean, okay, so those first 3 episodes, they were really charming and beautiful and
It's beautiful.
gave
It's
me
really
a solid
gorgeous.
Studio Ghibli Miyazaki kind of feel.
It's definitely related to like Miyazaki. I mean, the feel of it, but it's more informed by like Western mythos, fairies and Titania.
How so? Oh,
and-
Western mythology.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. So whereas Studio Ghibli is obviously informed almost entirely by Japanese mythology, this is informed almost entirely by European mythology, and it takes place in Europe.
Huh. What I enjoyed about the episodes I saw is it kind of struck that fun balance between twee adorableness and grim semi-horror magic
yeah.
being presented as mundane. I love
And
that.
I will say that as the series is going on, it's leaning harder towards twee. But like I said, I think that is really okay because it earned it so much through like that more mixture of horror and kind of melancholy in the first couple episodes. So now I'm just kind of glad everyone's okay.
Okay, I was going to say, I need you to tell me that my fear that it was going to veer totally into manic pixie dream girl realms.
I mean, it is, but that sort of darkness and eerie quality to it is still definitely there, and I think that they are obviously promising that they're going to ramp back up into that, but I think they may have read the audience well that we needed a break from them just torturing their main character.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I liked, and one way I can relate it back to Studio Ghibli, is the idea that they, at least for me, as an audience member, I'm watching and I think, okay, I recognize these tropes. We're in the world of a children's cartoon. I'm watching a Disney movie. So then when something truly horrifying happens, they subvert those tropes and leave me feeling off balance in a way that I really enjoy.
Yeah.
The playing with the tension between the genre you expect from some of those tonal cues about, the twee little girl and, okay, I'm in a fairy tale. Okay, this friendly forest wizard is going to be her for, he was eaten by a giant rat with two faces. Oh, that is not what I saw coming here.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think I'm actually mispronouncing it. I think it's supposed to be the ancient Magus's bride, but that is awkward as all hell.
Magus, like mage, wizard?
Yes,
Okay.
like mage wizard. The guy with a skull for a head is a mage.
Okay.
Also, I suppose I should actually describe this show for the audience.
Yeah.
So the storyline is Chise is the main character, and she's a little girl in Tokyo who is born able to kind of see monsters and spirits all the time. And because of it, she's like a pariah to the nth degree. Like her family doesn't want her mother doesn't want her. She's just juggled between family members. And she's sort of haunted by these visions all the time.
It almost played with the idea that she was schizophrenic, except that what she was seeing was objectively real.
Right, and could actually hurt her, which was even, scarier to a point. And so kind of in desperation, just to have a place to stay, she sells herself into slavery, and she's bought by a mage who actually kind of wants her around.
Wow, that is grim, and we did not get that in the prequel
No,
episodes.
you did not get to that episode. But you got, you knew that she started, the first of the prequel episodes, she starts with the mage, and he talks about, owning her and stuff. So you kind of knew it was coming, but...
I missed that she was property.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's still cute, though, I promise.
Well, that is the tension we're talking about.
Yeah. It feels a little bit like Full Metal Alchemist in its storytelling, again, with the balance of, the really cute, funny quality, and then just straight into darkness, into dark sadness, and little girls turned into dogs.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've enjoyed what I've seen of it. So are you all caught up then?
I'm all caught up. This Saturday there will be another episode, and I will probably rant about that one too.
Well, without too many spoilers then, how far along has the series progressed? Are we reaching the end of a first season? What's happening?
Oh, no. We've just gotten... We're 6 episodes in.
Okay, and where can people find this?
I'm watching it on Crunchyroll. I think it is also on TAC, which is another streaming network. And that's pretty much it.
Those are the places you can find it exclusively?
So far, those are the only places I have seen it.
And remind me what Crunchyroll is?
Crunchyroll is an anime streaming service like Netflix, except they exclusively do anime and manga.
What does that cost?
I think it's I don't even think it's $10 a month. I think it might be $5 a month.
Oh.
It's so little I don't even notice.
Is it a
happening.
month-to-month contract?
Yeah.
So somebody could theoretically pay for a month and binge watch.
However, you can, unlike Netflix or Hulu, you can go and watch shows now.
Oh,
but there's a
okay.
delay. And some shows are hidden. Some shows are only for subscribers. But for instance, you can go watch. You can actually watch all of the episodes right now of Magus Bride. But you cannot simulcast watch them. So I will get to watch it on Saturday because I have a subscription, and then you can watch it on Wednesday.
Cool.
If you don't. So if you don't want to buy a subscription, you just want to poke around, there's still plenty to do.
Well, today's show apparently sponsored by Crunchyroll.
Crunchyroll, if you would like to sponsor us, that would be cool.
Buzz marketing. There you go.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so that's what I'm pretty excited about all of those. I also really like One Punch Man. I like twee stuff a little bit better though. So, but I'm still excited for the second season.
I don't think I have a favorite right now. What did we just rewatch? We rewatched
Soul Eater.
Soul Eater, right? And that's one I really enjoy, and I would feel so awkward trying to describe it to somebody who asked me why.
It's just about a bunch of teenagers who can turn each other into weapons. I don't know what's weird about that.
And then use each other to collect souls of witches. Yeah, you're right.
Led by a cartoon version of Anthropomorphic
the Grim
Death.
Reaper. Yeah. All right, you're right. Straight over the plate.
It's super easy. I don't know what the problem is.
Standard stuff.
Yeah, that one of their teachers turns into Frankenstein. I guess, you know. Easy
So-
peasy.
You want me to introduce the next topic?
Yeah, go for it.
Can I give you a hint as to what the next topic is?
Okay.
Old Tom
Oh, no.
Bombadil is a jolly fellow. Bright blue his jacket is, and his boots are yellow.
Are you done?
None have ever caught
he's
him
not.
now, for Tom he is the master.
This is still happening.
No, I'm done.
You're done now?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it...
For faster feet, and his feet are faster.
That's Game of Thrones, right?
No! There's a new Lord of the Rings television series coming out
All right.
on Amazon?
I did not ask for that, but okay.
You're welcome.
Cool.
Nobody likes Tom Bombadil except me. That's probably not true.
A lot
but-
of people like Tom
Well,
Bombadil.
I both 100% understand from a narrative perspective why they left Tom Bombadil out of the movies. But I miss him. I love that guy.
Do you mean because it's an enormous tonal shift, like ramming full speed into a brick wall partway through the story?
Oh, here's an all-powerful, adorable wizard. He's not a wizard. He's a random forest buffoon.
Yeah. God-like forest teddy bear.
Oh, yeah, the ring, no effect on him.
Yeah.
He says at one point he remembers the first raindrop.
He is not important and will never come up again.
I love that they address it a little bit in the books of why don't we just give the ring to Tom Bombadil? And the answer why they shouldn't is like, he'd lose it. He wouldn't know why it was important. He'd give it to a badger.
Have I told you my literary analysis of Tom Bombadil as an analogy for white privilege?
No, I don't recall that.
Yeah, because Tom Bombadil, like somebody with privilege, does not understand the power he has or the danger to anyone else, and it can't be explained to him. And that doesn't make him a bad person.
Right.
He just literally can't understand it.
Can't understand why anyone is worried
No.
about this Dark Lord character.
Yeah, everything's fine. Look,
What's the big deal? Just sing a song and make him blow away.
he's got his pretty wife and his nice little cabin,
Goldberry.
and everything's cool.
Goldberry, the river's daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I know, if I recall, you were a little ambivalent about the idea that they were going to do more with Lord of the Rings, right?
I believe the term I used was bored of the rings, and I fucked it up. God damn it. I am bored of the rings. Couldn't even do that right.
I both hate you for saying that and see where you're coming from.
I love high fantasy so much, and
Yeah.
I want to see more of it,
Right.
and I don't want to see the same of it.
I agree with you, but I mean, I don't know. I love Lord of the Rings. Grew up reading it. I've read it 30 times.
Do you like Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, I do.
I don't know if this has ever come up, actually, in our relationship. I don't think you've ever mentioned it.
I feel you're being sarcastic,
I
right?
know.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like you cried when you saw the Hobbit trailers in the theater every time you saw the Hobbit trailers.
Yeah, too bad that adaptation turned out to be terrible. But yeah, I don't know. I think there's more to be done with the material. But in your defense, yeah, why aren't we doing more with new authors, new pieces, exploring new worlds? You got to figure, we're gonna have some low points. We're gonna have some chronicles of what is it?
I forget.
Kalnara.
Shenananana.
Shenanana.
I
Chronicles
forget.
of
We tried real hard to like that show.
shenanigans. But keep at it. There's new stuff out there,
Yeah, it's not like there's a lack of high fantasy stories in the world.
Give me a Mistborn series or something.
That would be great.
Yeah. But you know how it is. To invest the millions of dollars in production costs, if you can marry that to some name recognition, I think if you were a showrunner, I could see how you'd be motivated to do that. But yeah, I'm excited about it. I can't help it. I'm super biased.
And there's always the thing that if these big name ideas get money, that money does trickle down to
Well,
other authors and other creators.
we do talk about that sometimes. Like, I remember a discussion we had when we were rolling our eyes about Twilight, right?
Yeah.
But you have to assume that if somebody loves Twilight, even if we don't love Twilight, let that be their gateway drug
Absolutely.
into a wider world of reading and genre fiction.
And that money is going to a publisher, and that publisher is going to publish other stuff.
Right. And it's going to send us a signal to the publishing industry in general that, hey, maybe we need to buy some more genre books.
Would you believe I also have Tolkien news?
No, I would not believe that. You
Well,
are
I
a
do.
liar.
I do have
A
Tolkien
bald-faced
news.
liar.
I am not a liar, sir.
All right, go ahead.
Not in this specific instance. So, my Tolkien news is that Christopher Tolkien is resigning as the director of the Tolkien Estates. He's the son of J.R.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Christopher M.A.R. Tolkien.
Yeah, wow. You know his middle initials.
Fuck yeah, I do.
Oh my god. That is...
All right, go on. So who's taking it over?
we don't know. We assume
Who's
there's going to be...
steering the Bombadil boat?
We assume there's going to be a huge legal battle like there was before The Hobbit between Warner Brothers, basically saying, like, this should be for everybody now because it's...
Public.
Yeah, it should be public domain, basically.
It's.
And by public domain, they mean specifically them because they're going to make the movie.
Yeah.
So-
Well, I don't have any particular opinion about
Yeah,
that.
that's just my news.
Yeah.
That's also
Yes, I love
also
Tolkien's
news.
work. I don't know. I'm not one of those people who become obsessed with all elements surrounding a book
Yeah,
I like.
Like the
So,
royalty of it.
Yeah. All right.
That's
yeah,
fair. That's fair.
Yeah. What else you got?
I think we have to talk about EA's giant explosion
EA Sports.
this week.
It's in the game.
Have you heard about this at all?
I haven't.
Okay, so Star Wars Battlefront came out.
I did know that.
Yes. And this story has gotten so complicated. I'm trying to think of where to start. I guess what you have to understand about it is becoming sort of the poster boy for the problem with microtransactions and loot boxes.
Okay.
Specifically that the paywall between you and getting kind of what should be basic stuff for the game is immense.
Oh boy.
And also you can use those things in like competitive modes. So you can just pay a whole bunch of money and be way stronger and better than
So
other
they charge
people.
you $60 for this game, and then there are a million microtransactions to become
Yes.
competent.
So basically there are in-game credits that you can get by doing stuff in the game. Or you can just buy them. And one of the specific things, one of the specific examples that people keep bringing up is Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker are both purchasable by these credits, but you would have to play about 40 hours of the game to purchase one of them.
Wow.
Yeah. So they are
The
expecting
obscure
you.
Star Wars characters,
Yes.
Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
If it had been Salacious Crumb or something, I'd say, okay, he's an extra.
So the story goes on.
Okay.
They also limit one of the, and I don't entirely understand this because I don't have the game, so all I could do is sort of read the articles where they talked about this. There's apparently an arcade mode that you can play to get credits, but they time you out of that mode, and then you have to wait 3 hours to play it again.
Oh, wow.
So on top of all of this, after all this came out and people were very upset about it, EA made a post on Reddit that was just basically like, and I read the post. The post is just basically like, we feel like this is fine. Shrug.
Oh, okay. Well,
Like we
asked and answered.
feel like you should just play for these things and it's fine. That post now holds the record for the most downvoted post in Reddit history.
Wow.
The previous record was a post asking for downvotes to try to break the record. That post was at about 25,000 votes.
Wow.
Last they checked. Reddit or EA's post, last I checked, was at 570,000 downvotes.
Wow.
people are not amused.
No, I would think not.
They are not amused by this. So, yeah, so that's the basic story.
This is really going to test the adage that all publicity is good publicity, huh?
Yeah. I mean, people who have bought the game have already bought the game, except that apparently there is a wave of people asking for refunds for online purchases of the game. And I actually saw one chat that somebody posted on Tumblr, which was a ticket to get a refund. And the person they were chatting with says, "Can you give us a reason?" And they just put "same as everyone else." And the person said, "Okay, I understand."
Oh, wow.
So
has there been any new developments? I mean...
no, last I saw, we were just at angry Reddit people. Like, EA has not made another statement yet.
Oh, boy. Talk about a product, though, that relies on the goodwill of their community. They're going to have to do something.
I mean, you'd think, but the problem is that I've seen this broken down before. That sort of paywall, they're not trying to get somebody who will spend $10 or $20 on it. They're trying to get the couple people who spend like $5,000 on it.
The me's of the world.
You don't spend $5,000.
No, but I have terrible impulse control.
Better not spend $5,000.
All right, so I'm picturing sort of a evil Scrooge McDuck character at EA Sports, probably swimming in a pool full of gold coins, who is thinking that if they just ride out the wave of anger, this will become normalized.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, and
right.
then this will just be, this is how the industry is now.
And they might not be wrong.
Well, I guess this is going to be the force of the will to boycott this kind of shenanigans versus the will of the company to try to wait out the bad press.
I mean, what might get them actually is that it's not time for buying for Christmas yet. So they may have been relying on the wave of people buying this for people for Christmas, which may not happen.
EA Sports. It's in the game, but it costs extra.
It's probably not like an evil Scrooge McDuck. Like, it's so easy to think that the things that we hate in nerd media, especially, are just an evil bureaucrat who doesn't get it.
Duck. Who's a duck?
Who is a duck?
Mm-hmm.
A duckocrat? There's got to be a pun there. Work on it while I'm talking.
Something. Put it on my bill.
Yeah. All right. We'll work with that.
Okay.
So I think it's more like it's just bureaucracy. It's teams of people making these decisions cut off from the creative.
Everybody likes Darth Vader. Now, how do we monetize that?
Yeah, exactly. And so, like, one team decided that, and they didn't check in with this team that.
Okay, we're going to do some compression planning about how to maximize the profits off of the concept of Luke Skywalker.
That's right. People will pay to be Luke Skywalker.
Gross.
Super gross.
All right. Well, let's move on to something free that I love.
Okay.
So, I love podcasts.
Do you?
I love them. That is part of the reason you are listening to this now. So there's a new podcast I like on what I have to admit is my favorite podcast network.
We're just going to review podcasts on podcasts.
Yep. We're 3 podcasts down. This is the inception of podcasting. Switchblade Sisters is a new podcast on the Maximum Fun Network. It is Amy Wolf. She is a film critic. I'm sorry, April Wolf. Jeez. She's a writer and a film critic. And she has this podcast now, and the whole premise is that she has on female directors who also love genre fiction. And they talk about a movie. They talk about a genre film and how that film has impacted the work of the guest. And it's really good. They had an episode come out Thursday, a brand new one with let's see, Karen Kusama, who directed Girl Fight and Jennifer's Body, and they talk about Near Dark, a Catherine Bigelow film from the 80s about vampires. The first episode came out last week. That had Emily Gordon on it, who you may know as the partner of Kumail Nanjiani.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so they talk about And I'm so sorry, Leslie. Her pick was Bone Tomahawk.
No, I knew. As soon as you apologized, I knew.
Leslie and I watched
fuck
Bone,
that movie.
Bone Tomahawk, and it reduced her to the
my
fetal
God.
position.
I hid for half of the movie, and then I just cried the entire way home. I just sobbed like a child.
Well, I mean, what can we say? That means it was effective.
I hate that movie.
Yeah, it's sort of an indie horror western kind of thing. It's a slow burn. It's kind of a character study, but oh my God, it really springs some of the worst violence I have ever seen on the viewer.
I'm mad at you for making me think about
I'm
that
so
movie.
sorry. It wasn't me. It was Emily Gordon.
No, it was you.
It was Emily Gordon.
Nope, you.
She directed The Big Sick, which as far
Oh.
as, yeah, so...
All right, I forgive her a little.
Well, and you and I both love Kumail Nanjiani, too. So we've heard a lot of
Yeah.
stories that involve Emily at the periphery.
I believe we referred to Camille for a while as Emily's husband
Right.
when we were watching a lot of his stuff.
Yeah, so, I mean, what this is so far, 2 episodes in, just 2 very smart people having smart conversations about film, and I just love it.
Cool.
And it is also doing something that I really, really love, which is elevating the conversation about genre,
Well, yeah.
which I just love.
Yeah.
So they talk horror, they talk exploitation, science fiction, fantasy. We're only 2 episodes in, but I absolutely subscribed and I recommend it highly.
Very cool.
Yeah, there you go. Switchblade Sisters.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. I feel like I had something else.
You wanted to talk about the Adventure Zone.
Oh yeah. Oh God. Can I do 2 podcast things in a row?
I mean, you're about to. I'll talk about the Adventure Zone. I love the Adventure Zone.
Yeah, because I got you hooked. So talk from your
You
perspective.
did. So I actually this is maybe the nerdiest thing I've confessed on this podcast.
Oh.
I haven't cosplayed before ever.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of anti-nerdy, but Jared and a bunch of our friends were going to do a cosplay group for something called the Adventure Zone. And I was like, well, I don't want to not be involved in this. So I just went ahead and agreed to be one of the characters.
Tell the nice people what the Adventure Zone is.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
I just agreed to be one of the characters, even though I had no freaking idea what they were doing. And they're like, oh, you can be Lucretia. And I'm like, cool. Who's Lucretia? So it turned out to be a podcast. Did not know that. And it is a podcast that follows the McElroys, who are the delightful hosts of My Brother, and Me, on their Dungeons and Dragons
And a
adventure.
million other things, yeah.
Well, I think that's got to be what they're mostly known for, right? Is My Brother, and Me?
Yeah, I'd say that's fair.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. They do Sawbones and they do...
Schmanners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of them.
Wonderful with Griffin
I love
and
Wonderful.
his wife Rachel. Yeah.
Wonderful is wonderful.
It is.
Anyway, so the Adventure Zone, it follows their Dungeons and Dragons campaign. Starts out kind of slow. The whole thing is
they're learning the rules.
hilariously
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
And Griffin is learning to be a
Yeah.
dungeon master, which is hard. It's really hard. But it ends up like it freaking made me cry.
Yeah, me too.
Like it ends up being you become so emotionally involved in these characters and
yeah. I don't want to give away.
NPCs and
I don't want to give too much away of the plot in case you haven't listened to it, but you should listen to it. And then toward the end of the first arc, which they call the balance arc, Justin McElroy says, "The Adventure Zone: the story of 4 idiots that played Dungeons and Dragons so hard they made themselves cry."
it's true.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really good and also hilarious. Like I will listen to it. I listened to it the first time at work because sometimes I'll be designing, working in Photoshop or InDesign, and I don't need my word brain
Yeah.
while I'm doing that, so I can listen to the radio or podcasts. And I had to shut the door because I was laughing so hard, and I
Yeah.
knew like my boss was going to be like, "What the hell are you doing?" But now, so they finished the first storyline. They finished playing Dungeons and Dragons.
70 some episodes, I think.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And they are now on to, they're playing a new game. Do you remember what game they're playing now?
Yeah, they're playing the Fate system.
That's right.
And right now they're in kind of experimental mode. they're trying a few miniature arcs with different systems in different genres, and they're kind
With
of
different GMs.
yeah, and they're trading being GM to try to figure out what they want to do next. So they're in a fun experimental area. I wanted to bring it up because this is a good time, I think, to jump on board.
Yeah.
Either to catch up or to just start listening now. They're doing a superhero arc with Clinton McElroy, the father, as the GM.
It works because they're all good storytellers.
Yeah.
It's just it's a fun good podcast to listen to. Good.
Nice people
Yeah.
doing nerdy things.
And just to bring the story back around, I did end up very much liking Lucretia, the character they assigned me, and I am currently working on her costume, and it is going to be awesome.
Yeah. Leslie actually designed her own fabric.
Well, I couldn't find fabric I liked, so I went on Spoon Flower, and this is the benefit of having Photoshop proficiency. I just designed my own fabric.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
I'm excited about it. I'll post pictures when I'm all done.
Is that all we got?
I think so.
Oh, let me mention, just in case you haven't seen it, look up the first trailer for the new Deadpool, the Deadpool 2.
Ooh.
There is a new trailer out where Ryan Reynolds is dressed as Deadpool, dressed as Bob Ross, doing a The Joy of Painting parody.
Wow. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's really funny. You should check that out.
Okay, great. Well, thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining us again. If you listen to us on iTunes, or even if you don't listen to us on iTunes, please go over to iTunes and leave us a review. Also, join us on Facebook and Twitter because we post silly things all of the time, and we want to hear from you. What do you want to hear on the podcast? What questions do you have? What do you want us to dig into?
Yeah, if you want to write a longer diatribe about all the things we have done wrong, please send me an email at newsgoblins@gmail.com.
Speaking of which, I did have a correction.
Oh!
Apparently, in our second episode, I said Mario Galaxy when I meant Mario Odyssey, and I apologize.
How dare you?
I know, I'm sorry.
Okay, well, there you go. We're sorry.
Yeah.
Is that a good note to end on?
That's a good note to end on. Thanks, everybody.
Okay, bye. See you next week.